Father, we thank you for bringing us here today. We thank you for all the speakers that have spoken. And we thank you for the advancement you have in plan for us in our careers. And as I sort of close or round up this speaking session, we ask that you minister to each and every one of us for to the extent that we will be able to practicalize it and take action. In Jesus' name we pray. Okay, thank you very much. Kudos to the speakers who have spoken before me. I will try and be as good and as fast. And thank you to Pastor and Mrs. Adeni for inviting me. You can put up my presentation on the screen. I'll be speaking on harnessing virtual platform for career and business development. But before I start, there was something God spoke to me that I should say. I think it's for a couple of people here. The word was specifically delayed gratification. I was tied to what he was saying very interestingly. It seems some of us are in situations and positions where we are digging our roots. I mean, it's your time of learning. It's the time when you're not making the money, you're not making the impact you thought you would make, but it's actually a time of growth. Just think of it like, is it the palm oil fruit that takes about 3-4 years to grow? So the same thing happens in career and business too. There's a time to learn. There's a time to sit down and take that time to learn. If you're in that time, don't be discouraged at all. Your advancement is coming. And if you're building maybe a one-story building, the foundation is not as deep. But if you're building high-rise, you know how long it takes the foundation to go. And some of us who are in that career, in that phase rather, some of us will be entering the phase after this talk today. So don't be discouraged. Take it as your learning phase. And after you learn, you begin to earn. Okay. Harnessing virtual platform for business development. What is virtual platform? Simple and short. It's the fact that there are a lot of online platforms where you can use to learn. And we're lucky in our generation because previously, if you could not learn physically, there's nothing. I mean, there was no internet. I remember when I was growing up. I'm young, but it looks like we've grown a bit. We didn't have internet in Nigeria. The only thing we had there was Nitel, which you would call you. So you go somewhere to call and all of that. There's nothing you can learn online. But we're in a phase and in an age where we can learn online. Next slide, please. The next slide is to show a course in MIT. Introductions to Computers and Engineering Problem Solving. It's an underlevel course in MIT. You see, MIT school fees as an undergraduate under level is about $65,000. That's about 104 million naira. 1 year. You do how many courses? Maybe 10 courses. Now, MIT, next slide, please. MIT, because we have virtual platforms and all, they put a lot of their under-level course out for free. If you divide it and all of that, that single course is worth about maybe 8 million naira. But you have it available for free on MIT. Introductions to Computer and Engineering Problem Solving. I remember when I was an undergraduate, there's one I had like that, like a mentor, yeah, who, irrespective of what we're doing in class, he would go to the MIT page and go and study it. Guess what? When he completed his undergraduate, of course, someone that had been following MIT all his life, his master was in Manchester University, PhD in Liverpool. Well, that's normal. What I'm trying to say is the fact that a lot of knowledge and access you wouldn't have had ordinarily if you were the physical time. Online virtual platforms give you the opportunity. That's Abubakar Sulaiman. He has a course on my platform. So I was introduced as the general manager of Unify. One of what we have is a learning management platform here for practical courses for Africa. Abubakar Sulaiman is the managing director of Sterling Bank. He's one of the most brilliant executives I've seen and I've known. You might likely never be in the same room with him, but he has done a course that you can interact with and it can help you. And this is exactly why virtual platforms are important. Yeah, why I could speak so much about virtual platform, of course, I lead one. I think what's more important is to speak to why you should do it. Because there are maybe 8,001 virtual platforms for you to learn from. But if you think and you consider why you should do it, it would help. Number one, we are in the knowledge century. Times change. Things change so fast. When we were in school, I don't think there was anybody called product manager anywhere in Nigeria. In fact, product management, product designer sort of started from paper and the rest in like 2000, 2001 and all of that before it became global and all of that. There was nothing like that. So none of us studied product designer. None of us studied product development, product management, and 100 other skills available. So whatever you studied or whatever you are studying now, the likelihood of it being obsolete in the next few years is very high. So you need to be able to learn by yourself. I used to say that one of the most important skills we actually learn in school, especially in Nigeria, that um, jobs are sort of concentrated in some particular fields, and you can study things that if you wait 100 years, you still not get a job in it, yeah? It's the skill on how to learn. So if you know how to learn, it's good for you. Many times we tend to underestimate the value of learning. Many times we just want to jump into things and say, oh yeah, I can do it, let me do it. Similar to what he said. But the great leaders, they are great learners. Charlie Munger says, those who keep learning will keep rising in life. You know, Charlie Munger, if you don't know him, is one of the lifelong partners of Warren Buffett. So they both run Berkshire Hathaway. That's the most profitable investment company in the world, yeah? His children joke that the guy is a walking book because at least he dedicates maybe 1 hour, 2 hours to reading and learning every day. Now, I'll go straight to what I think you should be learning. Now, this is suggestions. First and foremost, I think that you should learn something that is practical to what you're doing now. Are you an entrepreneur? Are you a business owner? Are you a banker, a lawyer? You should take courses. Now, when I mean take courses, both take courses and read books, yeah, but you should learn things that apply to what you are doing at the moment. Why? You need to be better at your job. You need to be excellent at your job. So when you learn things that apply to what you're doing now, number one, of course, you can make more money, you can get promotion, you can make more impact and all of that. When you do stuff like that, it helps you. It's an investment into your immediate future, like your current future and your next future. It's an investment into what you're doing currently and your immediate future. Number two, take courses in line with your next role. That is, okay, maybe you are I've worked in the bank, so let me use banking. You're a banking officer, for example, and you want to become a senior banking officer. You want to go into middle management, or you're in middle management, you want to go into senior management. So you know that, for example, you want to go to middle or senior management, it's not only technical skills you need. So you need to be taking courses and learning things related to that next level. How do you do it? What do you need there? You need to take courses. Then number three, you need to take non-technical courses. There are some things that are just universal. Sometimes you wonder why some people are so intelligent. It's not necessarily because they are specially intelligent. It's because they've taken time. For example, design thinking. Irrespective of what you do in life, you should have a basic understanding of design thinking, effective communication, leadership, either in church, at home, except you don't plan to give birth. You'll be a leader one way or the other. So these are basic, non-technical, but everyone should learn it, irrespective of what you're doing. How do you think about things? Logical reasoning. You need to know these things. One of the things I think you should also be learning is new trends. AI is not just a trend now. It is actually something that is going to change our future collectively in the world. And it's already becoming a sad phenomenon that the whites are quite advanced. They are applying it so much, and a lot of the data set in AI already are tailored to the whites. We don't have a lot of black data set. That's why someone will say that let's dive into something is using ChatGPT, something that we always use, like let's dive into the scriptures. We don't have enough black data sets, and we need to know it. We need to be at the forefront of these kind of things. So these are things we should know. Green ecosystem, it's whether it's a fad or it's real, but it's something that is very important, being spoken about in the world today, and you need to know it. And then there are life lessons I think you should learn. You should learn how to make money. You see, Bible says that there will be poor people amongst us. But again, there will also be rich people amongst us. You make your choice. I think you should learn how to make money. If you really want to make impact, money makes it easy. Let me put it like that. You should learn communication, psychology. You should learn psychology. You are going to be relating with human beings all your life. Well, maybe some people, maybe your role will never involve human beings. I don't know. But if you're going to be relating with human beings, you should understand at least a bit of psychology, economics. Naira was floated last year. Part of the implication was that companies that are import dependent were going to likely make losses because they spend a lot of effort. If you don't know it, some people that knew it have made hundreds of millions buying stocks, removing their stocks from those companies. And all, if you don't know it, you will just be confused. So many things. What does it mean when CBN says they are increasing NPR, they are decreasing NPR? As funny as this sounds, and as unrelated as it is to what you do, it affects the value of your money. Cost of bag of rice last year is not cost of bag of rice this year. Why? Simple economics. I think those are important things that everyone should learn. So apart from what is important for what you're doing at the moment, I think you should learn that. Also, in line with giving gifts, yeah, uh, my platform, I have a learning management platform. It's called govertical.io. Uh, I asked my team to put out something so you can log on now and check. You will see when you log on to the platform, you will see get a special discount for here. I asked them to add the ransom house there. So anybody that do that from here, for any of the courses, there, I'll give you a 30% discount for it. So if you sign up and put in your details and select the course you want, that will be today because after today, it will be removed on the platform board. Yeah. Now, some learning tips before I go. Number one, some of the big tech companies have courses. And if you want to transition, especially to tech, Google has a lot of courses, digital marketing, product management, project management, a whole lot of courses. And these are people who are doing it practically. So the people who are teaching in those platforms are people who are doing it, not just like your university lecturers, but people who are actually practicing what they're teaching, yeah? And for some of these things, it's very practical. I've taken one or two of those courses before. You can get them on Coursera. And one of the things I will tell you is that some of the learning platforms, the goal is not totally profit-oriented. That's why, for example, I could give a 30% discount. We will take the loss as it were because the goal is not 100% profit-oriented. We want to make money. We want to make impact too. For many of these Google courses on Coursera, yeah, you can apply for financial aid. You can apply for financial aid that I know some of the courses as high as $90 per quarter of the course, but if you apply for financial aid, you can drop it massively to something you can pay for. So if you want to transition, it's something you should consider. Number two, one of the things I think you can do, I mentioned non-technical things I think you should learn, communication, leadership. Part of the way you can help yourself in learning those things is that you don't necessarily have to sit down in front of your computer learning it. You play it, for example, when I'm ironing, when I'm washing, when I'm cooking, I can listen to those courses. Then when I have something that sort of impacts me, maybe then I will carry my iPad and note it down. What I'm saying essentially is that because we're busy, we're in Lagos, or you go to work, you go in the vehicle from your house to the office or wherever, that's maybe 1 hour, 1.5 hours. Just listen to those courses, watch it. And when you have something, because even when you listen to things and you don't understand, over time you begin to understand and you begin to put it into practice. So I think you should do that. Number three, have a dedicated time for learning. For me, for example, I take learning as part of my job. So usually, I work mostly remote. So usually when I'm on my desk, 7, 8 a.m., up to like 10 a.m., I don't take meetings, except it's very important. What I'm doing is I'm learning. So I'm either reading a book or taking a course. Up to 10 a.m. It's 10 a.m., except there's something, an emergency, usually. Between that 7 and 10, I'm either taking a course or I'm reading or something. Why? If you don't improve yourself, after some time, your skill will become obsolete. Yeah? And then set deadlines for yourself and make yourself publicly accountable. Why am I saying this? You see, many times we can say we will do something and, well, because we are the one holding ourselves accountable, we will not do it. It's not clear there, but what you can see there, August read, September read. That was something I shared with my team. I try to do it every month. Like, what is there is the books I read in August and the course I completed. And I put there the books I was going to read in this September and the courses I read. You know what? Even if it's 2 days to the end of the month and I've not read it, I will read it. I mean, it happened last month. I had gone about 60% because I was not feeling well for like 1-2 weeks in the month. So I just gone about 60%. And it was 2 days to the end of the month. And I know that I told my team members that I'm going to finish this book before the end of the month. You know what I did? I went to look for the audio book. I sat down in the parlor, put the audio book, put the book, and I was listening to it, and I was reading. Then, of course, when I get to where it speaks to me specifically, I will do it. But essentially, I finished. Why? Because I had publicly committed myself to it. I think that if you publicly commit yourself, either to your friends, a group of people, your friend or something, and tell them, this is what I'm going to do this month. Whether it's the shame or the encouragement, you will do it. We're reading the Bible, myself and a couple of friends, the full Bible, and we're using YouVersion. Guess what? Because it's a group, everybody can see where everybody stopped. So I'm like, hey, they will see that I've not read my Bible in the past 14 days. What does that make me do? It makes me consciously read. So I think you should commit yourself publicly. When I mean publicly, it can be a group of your friends, can be your community in church or something, but commit yourself publicly to it. And the last thing I will say is a quote by Warren Buffett. He says that the best investment you can make is an investment in yourself. the more you learn, the more you earn. You see? That's the absolute truth. Many times we tend to take things for granted. We tend to take, no, we just do, we just wing it. Go and ask people who are actual leaders, who are real leaders. You will see that they do a whole lot of learning. I'll ask two questions so that I can give some of these gifts out. I quoted someone earlier, much earlier, not the last quote now. Who was that? Charlie Munger. Okay, you can come and have this. And I mentioned my company's learning management system. Who knows it? Okay, so many people shouted it at the same time, so I don't know what to do. So I'll let Tosin deal that. Okay, who can spell it? Okay, you, yeah. No, sorry, it was the lady behind you I called. Okay. Okay, thank you. You can have this. Thank you very much.